Tzaharaim Tovim, good afternoon to everybody, and wishing you already at the outset, Aktiva V'Chatima Tova, to have a good year and a happy year and a healthy year, and everything that is included in the Musag of Chayim, of life, in all its splendor, in all its depth. That's what we wish you on for this coming year, Tafshin Pei Bet. This is the last recording of Dvar Torah for Tafshin Pei Aleph, and Bezat Hashem, next year maybe we start like some different type of series. But there is in Parshat Nitzavim, is the last part of the. It speaks about the covenant that Hashem has done with the Jewish people. And it's sort of like a complements and finishes off what we learned in Parshat Kitavo. And it speaks about that, everything in the end of days, the Jewish people would do tshuva. But beforehand, there's a warning that when the people forsake the Torah and Hashem, then chas v'chalila, they'll be exiled. And then the Torah goes into a very interesting description about what happens to the land while the Jewish people are in exile. So I'll just read to you actually in English. It says over there that the Jewish people will leave Eretz Israel, and what will happen to the land? It says like this. It says that Hashem will punish, so to speak, the land, and foreigners who will look at the land, they'll say as follows: you know what, this land of Eretz Israel, there's sulfur and salt, it's burnt all its soil, nothing can be planted and nothing can grow, not even grass can grow on it. It's like the destruction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Tzfoyim, the cities that God overturned in his anger and rage. So that's a description that the people coming to see Eretz Israel while the Jewish people are in exile, this is what they will refer to, this is how they will react. And then the Torah carries on, all the nations will ask, why did Hashem do this to the land? What was the reason for this great display of anger? And they shall answer, people will answer, because they abandoned the covenant that of God, Hashem, their fathers, etc. And therefore Hashem drove them out of this land, and he, so to speak, punished this land. So we see that the Torah tells us that the destiny of land is mamash like parallel to the destiny of the Jewish people. We know, the Gemara Masechet Megillah says, and in other places, that the Jewish people are compared to both the stars and to the dust. These are very different types of images. And the Gemara says, because when the Jewish people rise, they rise to the stars. They are like invincible. That's when it says that they rise to the stars, then they are like really like stars, like true stars. They are shining and give light. And they're so like supreme. And when the Jewish people fall, there's no fall like the Jewish people. Jew falls is like becomes worse than anybody else. They mamash fall to the dust. Not so. The same thing is actually what the Torah is telling us, is that the land of Eretz Israel and the Jewish people are intertwined. And when the Jewish people are in the land flourishes. And when the Jewish people leave the land also falls. It falls so badly that it is in the language of the Ramban. I read to you the Ramban. Nachmanides in his comments on the Torah in the book of Vayikra, he says, you will not find anywhere in the world a land so good and so spacious, which was once so developed and is now in such a state of ruin. And we all know, I don't have to, I'm not going to quote it, I'm just going to say it very quickly, because we all know that like when Mark Twain came to Eretz Israel, And I mean, he toured the whole of Eretz Israel, and he speaks about, when you look at the Tanakh and you look at the glorious epoch in which the Jewish people, what they defeated, the Torah defeated, and with Barak they defeated, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the armies of Sisra, Har Tabor, and he says in Har Tabor now you hardly see a tree. And what is less known, maybe, is that there was a very famous traveler and researcher of Eretz Israel, a Gentile. His name was Edward Robinson. And when you come to Yerushalayim, to the Kotel, so there's what is known as Robinson's Arch. Just speak of where's Robinson's Arch. You're facing now, let's say that you're facing the Kotel. Right to your left is the men, and to the right is the woman. And then just by the entrance to where the women come into the Kotel, you can see that there is like a platform, which is like called Mugrabi's Gate, because everyone who wants to go onto the Temple Mount, both Jew and non-Jew, so they go onto that platform, as I say, just by the entrance to Ezrat Nashim. And you can see there's a picture, there's a sign over there that according to Jewish law, the Rabbanut, you shouldn't go up, etc. Okay, and then to the right of that, of that, by the western wall, is like a big stone, and that in 1838, Robinson, who came to Eretz Israel and did his touring and research on Eretz Israel, he discovered that arch, in which in the time of the temple, people used to come up to that arch to Har HaBayit. In fact, also if you see to the right of that arch, you'll see there is an inscription from Yeshayahu, which says that when the Jewish people will come to when they come to the Beit HaMikdash, that they will be full of simcha and joy. To get back to the point, so Robinson said that let's just contrast the two things. For what it's worth, there's a big machloket amongst the historians about to what extent we can believe what Josephus said. But Kopanim, on certain things, we'll accept what he says. When he describes, for example, that Yericho was basically like a paradise. It was the place where the Kohanim, a lot of Kohanim lived. It was like the palace, the winter palace for some of the kings of the Hasmonean kings. And he speaks about the abundance of fruit and the abundance of herbs and perfumes and the various types of palm trees in the Tanakh, right? That Yericho is referred to the city of palm trees. And then Robinson says, and he recalls and he writes in his diary, and when he describes all the filth and the terrible conditions and the shacks that there were in Yericho. We speak about now 1838 and beyond, and he says, and I saw one palm tree. So this is what you have over here. You have over here that the Jewish people and their land, that they are so connected. When the one falls, the other falls. When the one goes up, so the other one goes up. And that's why many have said that as the Jewish people have come back to Eretz Israel, so the land, which is so connected to Am Yisrael, it shows its beautiful face, and what it does is it produces the wonderful fruit of Eretz Israel, that we should be zocher to a Gula Shlema and a Tshuva Shlema and a Shana Tova to everyone. Kol Tov and Shabbat Shalom.